Okay, we've passed the hour of 7 o'clock, so let's get this started. So please rise. And how about Trustee Heilenbach lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will declare this meeting called to order. And Clerk Reyes, would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Trustee Clark.
Present.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Present.
Trustee Carroll. Trustee DeCosta.
Present.
Supervisor Wilt, present.
Supervisor Wilt. Clerk Reyes, here.
Okay, very good. We have a quorum, and we will proceed. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the April 11th board meeting.
I approve the minutes of the April 11th board meeting.
I have a motion to approve those minutes. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Clark, seconded by trustee DeCassola, to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on April 11th, 2023. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. We have the minutes of the closed session of the April 11th. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the April 11th, 2023 closed session.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Heilenbach, seconded by trustee Clark, to approve the minutes of the closed session of April 11th, 2023. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. All right, we then have the minutes of our May 2nd Committee of the Whole, at which we discussed 2 items. What is your pleasure on these minutes?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the May 2nd, 2023 Committee of the Whole meeting.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Heilenbach, seconded by trustee DeCassola, to approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting of May 2nd. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Thank you. All right. Under new business, our first order of business is grants. And the first grant request comes from Girl Scout Troop number 45954, who had hoped to give us a projected slideshow. Would a spokesman for the group please step to the podium, identify yourself, and then give us a brief review of what you'd like to present?
Okay. I'm Amy Bilo, school. I'm sorry, I was about to tell you what my professional title is because I'm used to that in my work meetings.
You can raise that up.
Yeah. I am the Girl Scout leader for the 5th grade troop at Central, troop 45954. And the girls put together a little slideshow to go over what they are working on for their Bronze Award. And we've been under the advisory of Lisa Lambros with the Landscape Advisory Committee. She's been helping us with the project, and we have done this presentation to 3 other groups, and you guys are our last one, so we're trying to put together our funds for the project. So I'll let the girls go ahead and explain to you. And there is 1 or 2 slides. I'll have them walk around and show you the picture because it's a nice graphic of what they're going to be doing.
I'm Simone. My name is McKenna.
Last name, too.
Simone Bilo. McKenna Schwind.
By the way, excuse me, but if anybody who's in the room, if you would please sign in so that for the minutes, if you're speaking, so if you haven't signed in yet, please do. Okay, go ahead, girls.
So we are working on a project called Restoring Riverside. We are going to go to, we are working on a triangle and planting stuff, different flowers and trees there. The Bronze Award. The Bronze Award is the highest possible award that a junior Girl Scout can earn. To earn it, a troop first identifies a community issue they care about, and then work together as a team to complete a project that helps our community. Our troop would like to help plant new plants and shrubs after Riverside lost so many plants and trees in the massive storm that came through our community last June. Unfortunately, a big cicada year is coming up, so instead of planting saplings, we decided to fix up one of the triangle parkways in town instead. A couple of parkways were identified as having not much vegetation. We would like to fix that. We would dig up weeds and clean up the space, and then plant shrubs, native plants, and flowers to help beautify our community and replenish native plant life. So we have a picture of what it looks like. I'll come around and show you guys. This is the triangle we are working on, and there's not, if you go there right now, there's not that many trees, and a lot of invasive species need to be pulled out.
Okay.
you tell them the three streets, Simone, that
So it's on London,
Loudon.
Loudon, Northgate, and Westover Avenue is triangle. So then this.
Okay.
That's the triangle.
Fine looking triangle.
It's almost perfect.
Very good. Thank you.
Oh,
Careful of the wires.
So we're going to have lots of different species on the triangle, such as 2 pin oaks, 1 black oak, 1 blue ash, 2 shack bark hickory. And then we're going to clean up a buckthorn and plant smaller natives with 3 redbud, 3 witch hazel, 1 ironwood, 1 red mulberry, and 1 horse chestnut. Then we're going to have 2 sugar maples, 1 ironwood. And then we're going to have possible understory trees. And then
We do. We have them.
we have a printout.
so the trees we are planting are blue beech, ironwood. So we're planting 2 of each of those. And then the native forbs and sedges are straight styled wood sedge, sand, coreopsis, Ohio, spiderwort, and then a wild strawberry. Those are flowers and trees. Funds and donations. We are asking for donations from local community groups to raise at least $800 for all the plants, shrubs, and other greenery to help beautify the space. We are very excited to start work on the triangle and hope that you will help us raise the money for our project. Thank you for your time and consideration. Does anyone have any questions?
I had a quick question. So you mentioned that some of the plantings, or is it all of the plantings, are native to the Riverside and Chicagoland area?
Yeah, all of them are going to be native to the
And
area.
Did you mention there were some strawberries there?
Yeah, native strawberry plants.
Wow.
Yeah.
We know where we're going.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to do things that will attract birds and animals, and so we're going to be planting things that will attract butterflies and moths and things, so the caterpillars, things that the birds could eat. We did do a cleanup day already on last Thursday for a couple hours. We're doing another one this Saturday, and then we have our planting day on May 20th. So,
How's the funding coming along? Good?
good so
Yeah.
far, yeah. And so I think we're gonna be able to get some extra things for the triangle with your donations, so,
Yeah.
if it's approved.
And my other question is have you gotten permission from the village to do this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's very
I mean,
important.
It's the most important thing.
I drove by this triangle today after I saw this application in our packet, and it seems like there's some existing trees there. Are you leaving those?
So we have pulled out some that were invasive already, and the ones that you see there are ones that are gonna be staying there.
Okay, because
Yeah.
they seem to be fairly good size.
Yeah, we're leaving the ones that are doing well and are really established and are native and they're not invasive. We're leaving those there. So we're just adding to those.
Okay, so then on this diagram, on this 30 by 15 feet, right here, this is mainly the area where you're pulling out the buckthorn and the weeds and replanting?
Yeah, where it says clean up buckthorn and plant smaller natives. So that's where some existing is right now. And then also where it says clean up buckthorn,
Yeah.
oh, both of those areas. There's already some there. So we've pulled out ones that were invasive already, for the most part, like 90%. And we're making new, bigger beds. So we're outlining new beds. We just did that on Thursday. And then we're gonna plant some more, because there's nothing on the whole side here that is, let's see, this is Northgate, Loudon, and, well, the one that's on. what's the other-
Westover is the one that goes
Westover,
straight
yeah.
north, yeah.
So, oh yeah, I see. So on the west side of the triangle there's nothing in that space. So all that will be things that we will be adding. And then I know Lisa's really excited to add things along the North Gate part too, because that's pretty bare.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you think you're gonna have this all done by May 20th?
It will be all done by May 20th.
Wow, that's very impressive.
We have 15 girls in the troop.
Nice.
And then we have some parents coming to help, and then we have some workers from the Landscape Advisory Committee that are there making sure we're not pulling out things we're not supposed to pull out, and that we're putting things in the right places. And they bring all the tools and everything that we need, so. And according to Lisa, she does this often with troops, so it's not her first rodeo with the triangles with scout troops.
I've
So-
got one more question, sorry, go ahead.
No,
Trustee.
go ahead. No, Trustee Heilenbach, please.
You have, on a grant application, 250 to 300.
That, I asked Lisa what was typical normally to request, and she said that's typically like what the groups usually give
Well,
somewhere.
you've done some fundraising, and I
Yeah.
recall, presentation.
Yes.
How much do you need?
So we got, so anything that goes over, we were trying to earn between 800 and 1,000. So we are like we're at 900 right now. We did get a personal donation from someone, from the Lions Club, so it's a separate donation from the Lions Club donation. So that kind of bumped us up a little bit. So we're getting close to 1,000 right now. So Lisa said if we go over what we were thinking, that we could plant extra things into the,
So you'll be asking for $300 then, am I right?
I mean, whatever you think is appropriate.
So you're asking for $300.
Sure, yeah.
That's the way.
This is also a lesson in business.
So the 300 is gonna go to buy the plants and the
Yes,
shrubs?
yes. And Lisa has a connection with a wholesaler already, and
Oh, great.
has, picked out things for the triangle so that we could get more of a discounted deal for the village, so.
So you're doing this to win this bronze award, so then do you submit all the data and everything that you've done? And then how many bronze awards are given out?
So, well, just like you mean in general or just for this trip? Because I'm not sure about in general.
Okay,
But, so the girls, for them to earn it, they have to attend at least one cleanup or planting day. If any of the girls who came to a presentation or presented will get a special presentation, like public speaking badge. And then if the girls attend, like a few of the girls put together did the research and put together the slideshow. And then if they've attended either the cleanup day or the planting day, then they can get their bronze award. So we do have a couple of girls that aren't going to be earning it because there's just so much sports and different activities that they're all involved in. But I would say 13 out of the 15 girls will be earning it.
Right, so then is that a badge then, the bronze award?
It's a pin.
It's a pin, okay.
Yeah. And then as they get older, they can earn their silver award, and then when they get into high school, their gold award.
Oh, cool. And who else is here from your troop?
You want to come introduce yourself, Nora? The shy ones. No?
All right,
Okay, so this is Nora and Veronica. Yeah.
nice to meet you. All right, I make a motion, we grant the Girl Scout troop $300.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion by trustee Clark, seconded by trustee Heilenbach, to grant the Girl Scout Troop 45954 a grant of $300 toward their triangle improvement landscaping project. Any discussion? Hearing none? All in favor? Well, this is an expenditure, so please, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Trustee DeCosta.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. That is a approval. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you
You're
for your
welcome.
presentation.
Good luck, ladies. Nice job on your presentation. Very nice.
And sorry we failed you on technology tonight. All right, the next order of business is another grant, and that is the Riverside Arts Center. If you would please step forward, identify yourself, and tell us briefly what you're seeking.
Hi, let's see Hi, my name is Liz Chilson. I'm the Executive Director of the Riverside Arts Center. And I wanted to just start by saying thank you for the grant funding from last year. We had, we were here, my board president was here in February for a grant that we had requested to upgrade our electrical wiring and install some switches and that sort of thing in our school rooms, and that work was completed last week, and it's really great. Now we have switches, and we've been able to eliminate a whole bunch of extension cords that were not safe, and so that was we really appreciate that. That was
So
great.
you were able to get the rest of your funding?
Yes, we
Yeah.
did. Yes, yep.
Okay, good.
And yes, and actually some of it was when I was getting the estimates, the electricians weren't sure how much work was needed. And so there was one proposal was to dig a trench. They thought they were going to have to dig a trench through the garden and to repair the wiring, but it turned out it was just a faulty outlet outside, so they didn't have to dig the trench. So
Good.
that helped a lot also. So and so with this, you have seen my proposal.
Everyone has copies of it.
I don't know if you have any questions about it. We're looking for funding, just, this is,
Your annual funding?
Yes, our annual funding that is to support our programming, and we have a lot of things going on that are really, benefiting to the township residents, and among them is the mural, which we completed last year, with partially supported by township funding. And this year, what we're doing is expanding, sharing information about the mural and putting together a campaign to kind of promote it and continue to draw interest to Riverside, which was part of the purpose of doing that. And then another kind of big piece of what we're doing this year is we got funding from the Illinois Arts Council to provide jobs for kids during the summer. And they help fund the wages for the kids, but they don't help, but we have to do a matching grant, and then we have to pay for the costs of training them and paying their salaries and that sort of thing. So the township funding would help support that. I think, and then the other thing that I think is really, it's sort of, in a way procedural, but I think it's really exciting, is we're engaged in a strategic planning process. And so we did a survey, and we did a community survey, we just did it online. And we were hoping we'd get about 50 or 60 responses, and we had over 100 people fill out this survey, which I've heard is pretty remarkable to get that level of response. And what we were asking was just feedback from the community, like, what do we do well? What would you like us to see? What do we do that you think we shouldn't do? And any recommendations about things that are, kind of how do you say it? Like, things that are sort of social, what do you call it? Like things that we might not be expecting, like what's changing? What's the future look like that you think might impact the work we do, and that we should be considering as we plan our programming for the next 3 to 5 years. And we got some really, really interesting, comments about, just ideas and that sort of thing. And so now the board is taking all of that and reviewing it all and kind of figuring out what we'll be making our plan for the next 3 to 5 years. So, so those are some of the things that are on our docket. And I don't know if you have any questions about anything that we're working on, or any recommendations or that sort of thing.
So this matching grant, this IACA, is at $4,500, and this is for you to employ. How many people are you going to employ?
Last summer we hired 3 teens, and I expect that we'll do the same this year.
And how much do they work a week?
They work a range of, kids are so busy these days, so between 5 and 20 hours a week, usually somewhere around 10.
So that would be 9,000. So they each get about 3,000 each for pay?
They get, yes, that's about right. It was, one of our teens worked more, and then, so yeah, you're right. That's about it. There were, it just kind of depends on how many hours they can put in. What's that?
They're paid hourly?
Yeah, yes. Yes,
What
we
are their
pay them
roles?
Pardon me?
What are their roles as employees?
Pardon me?
What are their roles as employees?
They work around the arts center, and the approach we use is to try to give them experience of what it's like to work at a community arts center. So we have them work in the galleries. They do gallery attending. They help install exhibitions. They help take the work done, package work, and communicate with the artists. They welcome guests. They help with the receptions and that sort of thing, and then they work in the schools. So they TA classes, and then this year we have Sophie Kleiber is going to be returning. She's graduating this year, and she worked for us last year, and so she is. We're going to, when someone's like, she's going to college, so we're going to train her and help support her to teach a class, that she comes up with the idea and teaches the class herself. So it's a really huge, professional development kind of opportunity for them. And they love the teaching, and they work in the clay studios, so they'll process clay and glaze the equipment. They learn about, we don't actually have them fire the kiln, but they learn about how to load a kiln and how to fire a kiln and how to, kind of all the materials that we use and the tools and that sort of thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So what is the additional teen employee cost going to cover?
It covers training materials. It covers. We give them a smock to you wear when they're there to identify them as a teacher, and so that the kids know who they are, and it covers the cost of the wages. Some of that is that is in there also, and then those matching those things cover we have to supervise them, so we have to spend a certain percentage of our time working with the teens, and so that's in there also. But mostly the cost of employing them is the match of the for unemployment and Social Security, those kinds of things, and then their just training materials, different kinds of things. We have them work on projects, so we pay for that. It covers the cost of that.
From the survey that you took, what was the number one thing that surprised you the most in this?
Oh, it's a really good
response?
question. It's a good question. When we had our retreat, we talked about what's one delight and one surprise, and a delight to me is sort of surprising. But I think one of the things that I think it wasn't surprising, but it was a delight, was the amount of passion that people have for the Arts Center. That 100 people sitting down and filling out a survey that, you tried to keep it to a 5-minute survey, but it takes 10 or 15 minutes, if you really want to fill it out. And people had just comments about how, from artists about the benefits of having an exhibition at the Arts Center, that their career really took off after that, that they sort of mark that as a place where they really just kind of, people knew, they were on the map kind of, and they got reviews and exhibitions and commissions and, just kind of a professional development. And then also from people in the community about how their kids loved coming to the Arts Center, and they credit the Arts Center with them learning to be open to ideas and learning, to love art and, that sort of, to make things and that. So it was kind of those kinds of things. Just people spent a lot of time just saying, this was one of the best things, or this is so great. And we had this summer, in February, we did a new program that it was a free program, or pay what you wish kind of thing, every Saturday in February. We called it Creativity Fest, and we just had activities. So we called it a Festival of Love for February. So we had Valentine activities, and we had Alex Brightbill, who's a local Riverside artist, came in and taught printmaking using her tortilla press, which was really fun. And she made Valentines with that. And we got so many people who didn't know there was an art center, who had never been there before, and they just came in, brought their kids in to kind of spend an afternoon with their family making stuff. And it was really, that to me was super heartwarming. And there were a lot of people who commented how much fun that was and how they met people, and it was really, so it's really a community center, kind of activity that is, to me, really, it wasn't a surprise, but it was really engaging, really.
I make a motion that we approve this grant for the Riverside Arts Center. We've supported this group over the years that I've been on the board. They continually provide to the community of Riverside Township, and I think they do an outstanding job.
Okay, I have a motion to approve a $9,900 grant to the Riverside Arts Center. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Heilenbach, seconded by trustee DeCassola, to grant $9,900 to the Riverside Arts Center. Are there any more questions, discussion? Hearing none, then Clerk Reyes, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Trustee DeCostola.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Motion is carried, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Next order of business is a special event request from the Riverside Friends of the Library for their Harvest Bingo. Hello.
Hi there, nice to see you. My name's Lindsay Morrison. I'm president of the Friends of the Library. And we're coming here way ahead of time to ask about using the facility, the big room upstairs, for Harvest Bingo. This is a great event. We were so glad to have it last year. Thank you. In October, sold out right away. In 2 weeks, we have about 135 people come, which is more than we can fit at the library. So it's wonderful to be able to have it here and have more involvement and also more space, a little more space, which was also helpful just with people still being concerned. So similar setup, people buy tickets to come, play a lot of games. They can bring their own food and drinks. We don't, last time someone donated from Aunt Diana's small individual bags of popcorn and a water bottle, but we don't sell any food or alcohol or anything like that.
Just the cost of the ticket.
You're right. And I don't think, we haven't done a lot with raffles. Last year, we probably won't as well, partially because we don't want to go around asking the businesses to support, and to donate. And so it's a little different than other years when we might have been able to do that. So we would love to use the facility again and hope that you can approve that permit. If there's flexibility to waive any of the fees or discount them, we would appreciate that. But we're just excited to have this event again and appreciate the great room to have it in. And we did use the bingo ball, at least as a prop, and have that up as well. So, cranking it. Does anyone have any questions?
All right, so you are, the request here that should appear on your copies as well is that the $300 rental was waived last year, and that would be requested again. We would still charge the security because there's alcohol being served just in case. And as you can see, the insurance has already been provided.
Yep.
What is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we waive the $300 rental fee for the Friends of the Riverside Library for the use of the Township Hall on, I believe that's October 14th, 2023.
And that would include the approval for the alcohol presence?
Right.
Okay. So I have a motion to grant the request for the use of the building on October 14th, 2023, with alcohol and with the waiver of the $300 rental fee. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Heilenbach, seconded by trustee DeCassola, to so approve this request. Clerk Reyes, would you please call the roll? If there's no other questions, I'm sorry. Okay.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Trustee DeCosta.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Motion is carried.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
I want to I'll let you know some of the great things that have come out of this event last year and the money we raised. The new 3D printers, a lot of the activities we did at the Holiday Stroll, which brings a lot of people in from different areas. And we're sponsoring and having a big kickoff for the summer reading program, which we sponsor every year. So those are the kind of things, and really appreciate your support so we can continue that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Take care. All right, next order is the North Riverside Mayor's Golf Outing, which is a fundraiser for the scholarship program. What is your pleasure?
Supervisor, we still have 2 visitors in the audience. Do we want to
They're just observing.
make a,
We can move
up?
to, sure. What is are you here for a specific topic?
No, I'm from Bonner High School, and I'm an AP Gov, and so one of the assignments we have to do is come to
A meeting.
of local government, so that's fine.
Okay.
great.
Great.
Well-
But we could move up if the assessor would like to
Holding up this whole meeting.
speak now. We could adjust that
Yeah,
agenda if
let-
that's what you're looking
come
for.
on up, Sure.
Thank you. I can go to the Lions Club meeting. Look at those dogs they have there.
Oh, that's
They're
right.
very cute.
Okay. Well, my name is Fran Sipowicz. I am the Riverside Township Assessor, and I'm here to report on the activity of our office, which has been quite a lot lately. So we just finished our first round of reassessment appeals with the Cook County Assessor's Office. We saw an average of 15 people a day. In addition to the phone calls and the emails that were coming in every day, I think most of the time we were probably here until 7 o'clock at night. We assisted 744 taxpayers with appeals. And I have to say, we have the best taxpayers. They were so great. They were very understanding. They knew we were under pressure. And you know, they were just great. We have the best taxpayers in Riverside Township. So the next round of appeals will be later in the year with the Board of Review. We don't know exactly when yet. And also, while this was going on, we had seniors coming in with their senior freeze exemptions because those got mailed in the middle of everything. And we are continuing to help not only seniors, but everyone who qualifies for an exemption this year where they need to make an application. We'll be doing that for the next couple of months. And my plan is also to conduct another outreach so that taxpayers can come when there is not a lot of pressure to do anything and just understand what happened during this reassessment process and, you know, what's going to happen and what might not happen, and just so that everyone has a better understanding. We have a lot of new homeowners, and I think it would be a good time to do a Taxpayer 101, property taxes.
You had a good turnout for the one that you had last month, right?
Yes. Yes, we had 130 people. We had standing room only going on up there, so we did have a good turnout.
And you're going to do another one, you said?
Yes, I'll probably do one in June. It's more of an education session so that we can, you know, we can relax people's fears about what might be happening and address any concerns that they might have. And then we'll do another one when the Board of Review opens, just so that everyone could have a chance to get their concerns addressed and kind of be aware of what's going on.
I had someone from a committee I'm on approach me to tell me what a wonderful educational experience the last one was, that you learned so much. It was like, oh my gosh, I never knew so much about taxes. So.
I know. Yes, they do appreciate it, and they do
Yes.
come up to me and say that. So that's why I'll continue to do them. So yes, the people here do appreciate it very much, and that's all I have to say about that.
Are there any deadlines that we should be aware of for the various exemptions?
There is, on the seniors who renew their exemptions, there is a deadline on the app of May 10th, but that's a soft deadline.
Okay.
That, you know, I think when you apply for those exemptions online, I think there's a July deadline online.
Oh.
So we'll have a couple of months to get the exemptions in.
Okay.
They try and get that first round in real quickly to get that out of the way, because those are the hardest to process, because they have to enter the income information, and that's pretty sensitive. So yeah, we'll have probably till July, we will be working on exemptions.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thanks for everything you do.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
Staff.
Thank you for your support.
All right. Thank you for accommodating the assessor.
Supervisor Wilt, if I may.
Yes.
I was one of the people that filed an application requested an appointment with the assessor's office, and went in, and I was really taken with how professional and expedient the whole process was. Her group was very professional, just did a great job.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Here, here, yes. All right, then let's go back to the agenda item, new business C, North Riverside Mayor's Golf Outing. Again, this, we typically have been getting 2 foursomes,
I think last year we had
and last
3.
year we did 3. So what is your pleasure?
Who's playing? Matt, are you playing?
I'm not sure yet.
Tim, are you playing?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. And I'm playing, so that's,
Last year John did as well, so.
John did. So
Yes.
do we want 3 Eagle sponsors? Or do we want 2?
Well, if each of you brings a guest, we're already up to 8 people, so that's up to you. Jay, do you golf?
Occasionally.
Yeah, well, why don't we get
So-
3 to be on the safe side?
Okay. All right. I mean, you can always send Andrew from the staff. That's always appreciated, too.
Absolutely.
All right. Very well, then can I have a motion to do a sponsor of 3 Eagles?
I'll make a motion that we sponsor 3 Eagle sponsors for the North Riverside Mayor's Golf Outing.
A motion by trustee DeCassola. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion by trustee DeCassola, second by trustee Clark, to purchase 3 Eagle sponsorships for the North Riverside Scholarship Golf Outing. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have the clerk please call the roll.
Trustee DeCassola.
Yes.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Motion is carried. And please let me know names as soon as possible, because they like to get those in right away. The date is June 12th, so we're just over a month away. Next is the approval of the budgetary transfers. This is just a cleanup from for the 2023, March 31st ending budget. There were a few things that were expended at the last minute that then, changed up some of the line items. So this proposal of budgetary transfers would take from the following funds, from IMRF, the sum of $9,066.55, from the liability insurance line, $1,451.81, equipment durable, $536.46, and from the website line item, it would be $316.73. Those sums then would be transferred and added to the following, under salaries, adding $9,066.55. That was a one-time overextension because of overlap of retiree and new employee. Social Security, Medicare would add $1,451.81. Building maintenance, $536.46 would be added. For communications, there would be an addition of $316.73, which means the adjusted appropriation lines would be as follows: IMRF, $28,933.45, liability insurance, $26,548.19, equipment durable would be $32,463.54, the website would be $1,683.27, salaries would be $309,986.55, building maintenance would be $23,036.46, and communications would then read $8,316.73. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve these budgetary transfers.
A motion, do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion by trustee Clark, seconded by trustee Heilenbach, to make these budgetary transfers as read previously. Is there any discussion? If not, then please call the roll.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee DeCassola.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Motion is carried. We now move on to communications. Are there any communications?
We do. We have a thank you card from the Riverside Arts Center for the township support. We have a thank you letter from the Riverside Junior Women's Charity related to the grant approval for the Riverside Brewfest event. And we also have a thank you note from the family of Leanne Blau for the township support.
Very good. Thank you very much. No action needed there. Supervisors report. It was a relatively predictable, I won't say uneventful, but a predictable month. Since our last meeting, I participated in the Supervisors Division of TAC, the meeting held on April 20th, where I now continue to serve as the treasurer of that group. I participated in our successful shred event on April 22nd, and we had donations of food for the pantry there. Afterwards, as the board knows, we went to the bridge to cut a ribbon and officially open it for public use, since the work was completed much more quickly than expected. We took a few photos and posted on Facebook immediately where it got positive response, and we have shared it. It will eventually wind up in the newsletter and was sent to the landmark as well. The next shred event is scheduled for October 21st. I supported the Riverside Junior Women's Charity, their event that the township sponsored. I met with Riverside trustee Aberdeen Marsh Ogza and Ashley Monroe, the assistant village manager, regarding the C4, which is on our agenda tonight. The Best Buddies chapters from Central and Hauser made the town hall a destination for their friendship walk, and they brought in food for the pantry on April 27th, and we shared some of that on Facebook as well. I attended the luncheon where we supported the Aging Well Month, where seniors were honored as gems for going the extra mile, and I was pleased to sit with the two nominees we were invited to recognize, and that was Nancy Dvorak of Riverside and Marge Hook of North Riverside, both very community-minded and volunteer in many ways. Although we had a larger number of GA clients than usual most recently, I'm pleased that in the past month I have presented 2 people with their last check as they are back on their feet. We ordered and received some items for distribution at the senior fair, which is happening later this week. Water fountain on the second floor started leaking last month, so we've had a new one installed, which is set up to fill water bottles, and we will present our exercise class participants with township water bottles on which there's not only our logo, but a space for them to mark their names in permanent marker. And then since we've always provided bottled water, this is going to be much more earth-friendly and will ultimately pay for itself as well. Today, I had a call from Connie Gardy from the Riverside Museum because they want to put a new display in their cabinet in the hall here, which where we have been displaying materials from the old time capsule ever since we found it, because nobody offered to put anything else in there. But they would like to put in some new items, and she offered that they would be willing to archive those items that we have there, since they're much more familiar with how to do that kind of thing. If this board has no objection, I will have them do that, and she'll trade that out. She said leave it there until they bring in the new items, which will be later this month. So one day, when we get the mortar on the building done, we can seal in the new time capsule, since nobody wants to come out to do such a small job. So we have a new time capsule, which will eventually be sealed in. And that's all I have to report. Trustees' reports. Trustee Clark, do you have anything to report?
I just want to say the senior exercise class is still going well. And if you look in your Perspective magazine for this month, you'll have a list of all the educational events. And the trustees are going to go in on a couple of the educational events with the supervisors.
Oh, good.
So we'll have general sessions together, and then we'll have breakout sessions.
Very good. Yes, I encourage you to look at those educational opportunities and take advantage of them. Also, you went down for legislative day, didn't you?
No, I didn't go to Lobby Day because I
Lobby Day,
was
okay.
out of town.
Oh, okay.
But I did go down to the directors' meeting on April 19th,
Okay.
and that went well. You know, and we started planning the conference for the fall.
Very good. Thank you. Any other trustees' reports? Trustee Hollenbach?
Yes, good evening. The Mental Health Board is busy. We have set the date, which is you have a flyer there, of June 10th for the Community Riverside Township Community Resource Center Health and Wellness Fair, which again will be held thanks to North Riverside at the North Riverside Commons. Last year was fairly well attended by both vendors and people. We hope to have a bigger crowd this year, and I think we will. The Community Resource Center, we are adjusting the way that we're running it. We are trying to move towards a model of being open when the township is open. Instead of going on weekend hours where there was no one here, it was a waste of our time, basically. So that's the model that we're going to be doing. And that's about all I have for right now. So that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. And Trustee DeCassola, do you have anything? to report?
Yes, thank you. Just off of what you were saying, I was very impressed by the shred event, the turnout. So to me, it was a very well worth event, and very happy with how the bridge turned out. Looks very nice.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then we will move on to unfinished business. And that first item is to adopt the 2023 to 2024 budget ordinance. There was a hearing on that topic earlier this evening. We had no one come to ask any questions. No one has questioned or asked for copies of this. The board has reviewed this, so what is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we adopt the 2023-2024 township budget.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion by trustee Clark, seconded by trustee Heilenbach to approve the Riverside Township budget ordinance for 2023 to 2024 as presented, and that would be effective as of April 1st, 2023, running until March 31st of 2024. Are there any additions, corrections, questions at this point? Then, if the clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Trustee DeCosta.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Thank you, that is approved. Next item is the approval of the bond ordinance for the Swinging Bridge project. I would like to just share that I got an email just after office hours today from the bond attorney indicating the good news that the bank, that our bank, Hinsdale Bank, which is part of the Wintrust, is offering to purchase the bonds at 4.25%, which he feels is a fantastic rate, and they are not going to charge an underwriting commission, so.
Beautiful, that's
Oh,
great.
Great, yeah.
So, with that being said, we have the ordinance before us, and there will be an additional resolution that is requested for these, or that is required for these matters as well. So this would be ordinance number 2023-5, an ordinance providing for the issue of not to exceed 500,000 general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source, Series 2023, of Riverside Township, Cook County, Illinois, and for the levy of a direct annual tax sufficient to pay the principal of and interest on said bond. Do I hear a motion for that approval?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2023-5, a motion made by trustee DeCassola, seconded by trustee Clark. Are there any questions? Any discussion? If not, then Clerk Reyes, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Trustee DeCosta.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Motion is carried, so that ordinance has been approved. The next resolution is for the, to approve a bond record-keeping and compliance policy, which is in your packets. It is it's a compliance issue. We need to approve when we issue a bond.
That's correct. Mr. Kankar, the bond attorney, sent this and said that it is a mandatory requirement, so it just is affirming that the township is going to keep proper records related to this bond issue for paying for the bridge project, so.
Okay.
That's
And we
all
need,
there is to
well,
it.
this is a resolution, so we need a motion on this
Yes.
also.
Yes.
Correct, yes.
I make a motion that we approve Resolution 2023-6, a resolution of Riverside Township, Cook County, Illinois, approving a bond record-keeping and compliance policy.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Heilenbach, seconded by trustee DeCassola to approve Resolution Number 2023-6, a resolution of Riverside Township, Cook County, Illinois, approving a bond record-keeping and compliance policy. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, then would you please call the roll?
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee DeCosta.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Motion is carried. Thank you.
Supervisor, can I just, I think I mentioned this to
Absolutely.
you, but the time frame now that you've passed these last resolution and ordinances, I think closing on the, and sale of the bonds in about 2 weeks, I think Mr. Kankar was anticipating. So that's when funds are available then to pay off the bridge project.
Very good.
Yeah,
Great.
Terrific.
so thank you.
Now, we only need to take as much as we need to pay those bills, correct?
That's my understanding, but I think they do, I don't know this for certain, but I think they do sales in
Right.
certain divisions. So you can't do like 19,000 or
Right.
79,000. You maybe do 50 or 100,000 at a time or something
Okay.
along those lines, but
Very good.
yes.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you all for approving that, and so we can go forward, and it should, especially with the lower interest rate, it should give a lower impact on the tax bills as well, and certainly we'll be paying that over the next few years. All right, next item is our participation in the Cross-Community Climate Collaborative, which is affectionately called C4. And I wrote up some, basically, we did have a meeting, we discussed that as one of the items on our committee of the whole. And I just want to state for the record that the Township Board has considered the expectations of the Village of Riverside C4 Committee that the township should be the lead of the Health and Wellbeing Initiative. We've reviewed the list of community input objectives presented in this category, and we will provide the village with direction to programs that already address many of the concerns. Some of the suggestions within that community input suggest programs that other surrounding townships provide, such as public health services and more extensive food programs. Riverside Township is much smaller in area, population, and revenue than the townships with such programs. Although we support the efforts of the C4, the expectations from the Village of Riverside for Riverside Township to lead the health and well-being initiative is simply beyond our capacity. The extent of the Riverside approach to the collaborative is a bit overarching, and we have very limited resources, both financial and in personnel. Therefore, I move that we share with all the communities in Riverside Township the information we have regarding existing local programs and organizations that support the same goals as C4, that we step back from any lead role in C4, but that we continue to have dialogue with the villages and work with them in the development and improvement of the township's health and well-being programs, as well as any other applicable township initiatives as permitted by law. And that's my motion, and I would welcome a second.
Second. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, wait.
I have a second by Trustee DeCassola.
Wait.
So again, the motion is that we share with all the communities in Riverside Township the information we have regarding existing local programs and organizations that support those same goals as C4, that we step back from any lead role in C4, but that we continue to have dialogue with the villages and work with them in the development and improvement of the township's health and well-being programs, as well as other applicable township initiatives as permitted by law. So that is the motion. I will also, just as background, I've also reached out to the other communities in our township. I've spoken with the trustee from North Riverside. He's invited me and invited some people from C4 to their one of their board meetings where I will see what approach they're taking and see if we can be of support there. And I've reached out to the trustee from Brookfield, who is also their liaison to the C4, and I haven't heard back there yet, but I will work with all three communities to see where we go with this. Okay? So that being the motion, all in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Supervisor Wilt.
sorry, yes.
I think you should do a roll call on that.
Okay.
I just want everybody to know that we're all in agreement with you on this.
Yeah, I mean, this is not my thoughts, this is what came from our discussion.
Our
at
discussion,
meeting,
right, that
so-
we're all on the same page.
Very well, I will,
And it's very well stated, Supervisor.
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
you did a nice job on that.
Very
thank
good.
you, thank you. So would you please call the roll?
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee DeCassola.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Motion is carried. Thank you. Okay, next item is the Decennial Committee on Local Government Efficiency Act. We are charged with forming a committee to study the efficiencies or lack thereof of our government unit, and that such committee by law is to include the supervisor and the trustees, therefore, and additional members of the community. Therefore, I am appointing, it is my role to do so, I am appointing the following to the Decennial Committee on Local Government Efficiency. That would be Trustee Clark, Trustee Heilenbach, Trustee Carroll, Trustee DeCassola, myself as a member of that board as well, or that committee, Clerk Reyes, Joseph Iniguez of North Riverside, and Kara Kalnitz of North Riverside, Jay Reyes being of Riverside. So that's 3 additional people to the required members of that committee. We have discussed such committee meetings. We need to have at least 3 meetings over the next 18 months and complete a report within those 18 months. I would propose that ideally, such meetings should, the first meeting must take place before June 10th. So I would propose that our first meeting of that committee take place on the first Tuesday, in June, which would normally be our committee of the whole. And of course, at this moment,
June 6th.
thank you. So that I would call that meeting for 6:30 PM on June 6th. And then from there, we will probably meet again on those nights that we've already reserved and announced as committee of the whole. If it doesn't work in any given month, we are permitted to hold these meetings during a regular board meeting so long as it's so designated. These will be open meetings, and the first organizational meeting will take place on the first week in June. And then we'll go from there. And our goal would be to get this done as quickly as possible, but as expeditiously as possible, with certainly identifying all the efficiencies needed. So I guess if you, I don't know if I should have the support of the board on that. It's my appointment, but it couldn't hurt.
I think by statute, you and the board are all automatically on the
Right.
committee, and then at least two at large. So I think it's within your authority to just appoint, and obviously,
Okay.
unless there's an objection, I think that's sufficient for
Is that,
We don't need a roll
for
call?
creation of the committee. No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
all right.
Who was the second resident?
Kara Kalnitz, Kalnitz. First name is Kara.
Thank you.
These are both people who had previously applied for our vacancies for trustee positions, and at that time also indicated their willingness to serve in other capacities as needed. So we have called upon them. All right. So onward, our next order is just informational items. The North Riverside Senior Fair is this Thursday, May 11th. So if you know any seniors who would like information about things available in the community, encourage them to go to North Riverside between the hours of 10 and noon this Thursday. We will have a presence there. I will be there, the assessor will be there, and the CRC will also be represented there. Item B, the CRC Health and Wellness Fair, which you've already heard about, on June 10th, and that will also be at the North Riverside Commons. And then I call your attention to the TALK Annual Meeting and Spring Conference. Thursday, June 22nd. I believe I forwarded an email, or you might have gotten it directly as well about that. So please consider attending. They do want to focus on some education, so that would be on Thursday, and it's fairly early evening, as I recall. 5 o'clock, thank you.
Oh, it's at
No,
5
it's in.
p.m.?
5 p.m.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, it's after most
I thought,
working hours.
I got it here.
All right, so we have come to the point of our,
Double tree, I know.
I'm sorry?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Registration fee is $35. Do we need to sign up through the office plus through the website?
We could do that. If you want to let me know that you want to attend, then we can put through one payment for all that want to attend. So you don't have, you can check your calendars, just be in touch with us as soon as possible.
I'd like to attend.
Okay.
You can sign me up too, Supervisor Wilt.
And if you don't know yet what your
Yeah.
calendar looks
Oh.
like, let me know, and we will be submitting that for the Township Officials of Cook County Spring Conference.
I'll let you know by the end of the week.
I'm sorry?
I'll let you know by the end of the week.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Then we have reached the warrants list, and I believe trustee Clark would like the floor on that.
Okay. I move that the board authorize and ratify the payment of the bills identified on the general warrant of May 9th, 2023, in the amount of $51,075.68.
I have a motion by trustee Clark. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Clark, seconded by trustee DeCassola, to approve the general warrants for May 2023 in the following total, $51,075.68. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Clerk Reyes, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Trustee DeCosta.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Motion is carried.
I make a motion that the board ratify and authorize payment of the amounts indicated on the following warrants. Utility warrant, $1,639.97, and these warrants are for May of 2023. Payroll warrant in the amount of $21,240.15. The health warrant in the amount of $3,231.76. General assistance warrant in the amount of $9,844.89. Township radio players warrant in the amount of $200. Food pantry warrant in the amount of $60.50.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve those warrants. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Motion by trustee Clark, seconded by trustee Heilenbach, to approve the following warrants for May of 2023. Utility warrant in the amount of $1,639.97. The payroll warrant in the amount of $21,240.15. The health warrant in the amount of $3,231.76. The general assistance warrant in the amount of $9,844.89. Township radio players warrant in the amount of $200, and the food pantry warrant in the amount of $60.50. Would you please call the roll on those?
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Trustee DeCosta.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Motion is carried. Thank you. All right. Finally, are there any public comments? Anybody in the audience have anything to say? No. Thank you very much, then. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Clark, seconded by trustee DeCassola to adjourn this meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is carried.